Welcome to the Jersey Magazine. I'm Jim Monaghan. My guest this morning is Brian Dorber. We're talking about the Eric C. Blohm Foundation and this year's event. Brian, good morning and welcome to WDHA.
Thanks. Appreciate it, Jim.
So this coming Saturday, September 18th, is the 6th annual charity ride for the foundation. Tell us what you have planned for this year's event.
That's right. So the foundation's a motorcycle ride out of Morris Plains, the Garden State Harley-Davidson dealership. And we get everyone around, and it was about a 2-hour ride. And then we have everyone back and have a full catered barbecue and some auction events. And it's all in the name of Eric and our foundation that we've had for the past number of years.
For listeners who aren't familiar with Eric's story, what was it about him that inspired people like yourself to put the foundation and the organization together, Brian?
Sure. So Eric was diagnosed when he was a sophomore in college with rhabdomyosarcoma, which is a very rare childhood cancer. So he actually was treated as a pediatric patient and through the Morristown Memorial Hospital. And what happened was that, thanks to private donations, because he was too old to necessarily be in part of, the normal Make-A-Wish type of setup. But he got to go to 2 different Duke basketball games while undergoing treatment. And it completely meant the world to him. He was a massive Duke fan. And to have that experience, it just changed the way he was going through all of these treatments, and just had such an impact to him to be able to do that. So we had set up a birthday party for him. And he very sadly passed away 2 weeks before that party. But we still wanted to go on and have it. And we made it into a fundraiser, just as like a one-off event. And we had just an overpouring generosity from the local community that we were thinking, how can we give other people and share what Eric had experienced by the Duke basketball game experience that he had. We, the closest friends and family, wanted to try to reciprocate and give that out. And we just set up this foundation to say, hey, why not do this every year in memory? So we usually have one event. This year, the motorcycle run, but it started with the birthday party. And it's been amazingly rewarding to see that we actually have had the same impact that we saw with him on many families over the last 11 years.
You mentioned how young he was. He was, I think 22 when he passed in the year 2010. Born in Dover, grew up in the Hopatcong area. So like many of our DHA listeners, Eric, a Morris County resident. What are some of the organizations that the foundation has donated to so far, Brian?
Yeah, so we work very closely with the Goriab Children's Hospital and Morristown Memorial. We work very closely with the social workers there, that the Valerie Center, who help give us, reach out to us when they have somebody, and then we'll handle it directly. And we usually reach out to families and individuals ourselves more than the larger organizations. We'll get, notes, and again, working through the social workers there, they usually pick out people who, who could really use a little help from us. And we try to make the biggest difference we can.
We're speaking with Brian Dorber this morning here at 105.5 WDHA and the Jersey Magazine. He's representing the Eric C. Blohm Foundation. This coming Saturday is the 6th annual charity ride. What, in addition to bike rides, which I know you've done in the past, what are some of the other events that the foundation has done, Brian?
Yeah, so we've also, you mentioned starting it off with a birthday party. So that ran pretty consistently every year, having that type of a event, and, large barbecue, auctions, raffles, fundraisers. We held a flag football tournament one time. Anything that just gets all the people in the local community and all of our friends and family around together to celebrate Eric.
And I know this event on Saturday, even though it's a charity ride, is for non-riders as well. Tell our listeners how they can go about registering and the different price points that you have.
Yeah, so you can, we'll send out the link, and you can just get a general admission ticket for gets you the food and all of the activities around while before and after the ride itself, and we'll we'll just all be there collecting for that.
You have a live band as well this year, correct?
That's right, we do.
So information is online at the Eric C. Blohm Foundation.org, and Blohm is spelled B-L-O-H-M, the Eric C. Blohm Foundation.org. Brian Dorber, thank you very much for your time this morning here on the DHA Jersey Magazine, and best of luck with this year's event.
Thank you so much for having us. Appreciate it.